timely manner. Contact AHC at 615-745-1676. That's 615-745-1676. Or go to their website at affordableheatingandcoolingtn.com.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance policy perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available at select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
Want a flawless look without the wait? Step into the Vanity Zone in Smyrna, where upscale style meets everyday convenience. Specializing in precision cuts, color services, waxing, and more for men, women, and kids. All delivered by a highly trained stylist with an eye for detail. And don't miss the signature hot towel refresher, the perfect finishing touch that leaves you feeling clean, relaxed, and ready for anything. Walk in or book now the Vanity Zone in Smyrna. Looking your best is always in style.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
I just really appreciate Danny and his whole team. I always feel like I'm going to get great service and the right outcome.
You just don't find any better people.
He's always been very good.
We've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Marcus Manise. I am the founder and executive director of Strong in My Father Youth and Family Services. Our organization is designed to help young men growing up in homes with our fathers have a better chance at a better life and a better opportunity. Our organization is preventative, so our goal is to prevent kids from going to jail, juvenile, but live out the purpose that God truly has designed for them. For all information on our organization, if you're looking for a mentorship program and your child is between grades 2nd through 9th, we encourage you to go to our website, stronginmyfather.org, for more information. Sign up to be a part of Stronger Sons Mentorship Program. And then we're hoping that this program continue to help your son live out the true dreams that God truly has designed for them.
AFFI is Middle Tennessee's premier choice for pest, wildlife, and moisture control. They specialize in those difficult and unique cases. You can reach them by phone at 615-300-2395. That's 615-300-2395. Or stop in at 200 Glenrose Lane in Smyrna.
Hey, Middle Tennessee, it's Mark from the Safe House. Can I have your attention, please? I have an important announcement. Our president has a backbone. Thank you, President Trump. We sleep better knowing our country is protected. And speaking of protection, criminals laugh when you purchase a fake safe from a big box store. There's no better time than now than to visit the Safe House and see what a real safe looks like. Rebates now through the end of July on select brands. Our brands include Liberty, Fort Knox, and Browning. Drop by one of our locations or go to NashvilleSafehouse.com. And remember, we don't just sell safes, we sell peace of mind.
Hey, I'm Floyd, and I'm inviting you to join me at CR. That's Celebrate Recovery. We meet at Family Worship Center, 3045 Memorial Boulevard on Sunday at 6 p.m. We're a 12-step Christ-centered program that offers help for all the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that's causing you pain. The program works if you work it, and I'm proof. For other CR groups, go to CelebrateRecovery.com and click on the group finder. Hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
When I say VFW, you probably have some visions of a smoke-filled bar with a bunch of old-timers eyeballing you. Well, the Stones River VFW is doing things different. No smoke-filled rooms, no turning prospective members away, and a strong emphasis on camaraderie and community. We believe in instilling our American values in our young people through numerous programs such as Voice of Democracy, Patriots Pen, Scout of the Year, and VFW Teacher of the Year. The Stones River Post intends on becoming a driving force to help, aid, and assist wartime veterans. So if you're one of those veterans with a campaign medal and you want that sense of purpose that you've been missing, then give our recruiter Andrew Farr a call at 615-490-5715.
Hey, I'm Floyd, and I'm inviting you to join me at CR. That's Celebrate Recovery. We meet at Family Worship Center, 3045 Memorial Boulevard on Sunday at 6 p.m. We're a 12-step Christ-centered program that offers help for all the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that's causing you pain. The program works if you work it, and I'm proof. For other CR groups, go to CelebrateRecovery.com and click on the group finder. Hope to see you soon.
This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
Folks, listen to Conversation Mike Sparks. Got a big show tonight. Got a lot of big old boys in the room tonight, don't we, James Yates?
Yes, we do, and I'm the smallest one here.
No, I'm the smallest one here, man. There's some big old boys. You may be the biggest dude we've had in here, you know?
It's an honor I take very much to heart.
All right, so Evan Trex Singleton.
T-Rex.
Hell, I'm spelling Trex. I need to put a hyphen in there. And we got Mr. Murfreesboro himself. How you doing, sir?
Doing all right, thank you.
Tell everybody your background and what you do.
I run Murfreesboro.com, just internet. I do all things internet, just put it down.
Where are you from originally?
Originally? Well, I've moved around my whole life and ended up here. I've been here since 2001.
Because I can't pick up an accent.
No, I was born in Alaska, and then
no wonder.
Oregon, New Mexico, New York, then here. So
I'm trying to pick up. I don't think it's Midwestern.
Nope, it's kind of a mutt accent. It's just all over. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, James and I grew up together. I always had a lot of respect for James. James always had a heart of a lion and always continuing to work hard and just keep plugging away every day. In fact, I thought about you the other day, James. You know why?
Why was that?
I had the Secretary of State in. Roger Thomas was with us, and we had Trey Hargett in. Thursday, we did a tour. We started off at Ingram Book Company, went to the Smyrna Senior Center, went to the Smyrna Library with some grants. I think it was about $17,000 in grants. Then did Smyrna TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Smyrna Rotary, cemetery school, presented a $250,000 grant for that, the community over there off by the battlefield. And then we hit, we walked up in the tower, the air traffic control tower, toured Stevens Aviation. So the air traffic control tower, we've got that $400 million investment coming into Smyrna with National Guard moving a lot of the Blackhawks and all that back over. Huge deal, as y'all know, $1.9 potential $1 billion investment over the next 25 years. But that tower is 71 years old, built in 1953, and so I wanted to climb it, get everybody to climb it. And we all went up, everybody went up, and it was really good. Marister Reed, the mayor, was there, and Anthony Johnson and Jerome Dempsey, a lot of us went up there. But when I was 19, my sister was air traffic controller up there, and we had to carry this big old 2x6 couch, the old wooden couches, and we carried that thing. I look back, I don't know how we done. Then she calls me a year later and said, "Come get this couch." And then it fell out on my, remember that old El Camino I had?
Yeah.
Champagne El Camino. It fell out on Samberley Park where the couch did. But anyways, reason I thought of you is Trey Hargett was talking about votes. Every vote matters, in our republic. And we all need to take our voting integrity seriously. Tennessee is number one for voter integrity. You know why I thought about you?
Because of my tie.
Yeah. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, I ran for Smyrna City Council back, I think that was 20 plus years ago now. Yeah. And it came down to a tie between me and another gentleman. And when I say tie, I don't mean within a percentage. It was a tie. Yep. So if one more person had have gone and voted, then we'd been done. So I had to run the race all over again, just me and him. Ultimately, I ended up winning, and I served 5 years with the town for doing that. It was a great time. I enjoyed that experience.
Yeah. Well, I watched, and when one thing being in politics and getting a little older, I'm not saying I'm fascinated by human behavior, but when you get a little older, you start getting a little wiser, and you see people who make a lot of mistakes. And I'm going to tell you, usually it's pride. Like the old adage, pride come before a fall. My mother drilled that in my head. And when it was that tie, a lot of folks were at the Smyrna, back then we called it Town Center, now Event Center. And your opponent, well, I won't say his name, and he's deceased now. But he kind of got a little arrogant. I mean, you may not want to say anything, but he seemed a little arrogant. He goes, "Well, this is already decided." Oh, people don't. I thought to myself, because I don't even think I may be on the county commission time, and he said, "It's already decided." The mayor and council said, "Well, the mayor had a majority on there that was with him," and I thought to myself, "Man, I don't think I'd be saying this right now." You know what I mean? If you tied, and I thought, what kind of political strategy is that? And you stayed cool, you stayed humble. And then y'all had a runoff, and how many votes did you beat him by?
I don't know, but it was a large margin.
It was a lot.
I think the comments that he made that night really made it impossible for him.
Man, you got it. You can't get too. You got to stay humble.
Yeah.
And for these two big old boys, is it easy to stay humble, as big as you are and strong as you are?
I like to think that it is, because it's a mixture of what I do in the strongman world. What I do in the strongman world, everybody is just getting so competitive now that it's not really a surefire thing whether you're going to go into a competition and win or not. And I like to be able to use that mindset in my training to make sure that I'm staying hardworking and my intensity stays up.
Yes. What keeps you motivated? I mean, just getting up. I mean, I was talking to Kelly Butler, and James and I are friends with Kelly, and I was like, "Dude, man, sometimes I just don't have energy." And he says, Kelly made a comment. He said, "Man, that's when you have your best workout." And I thought, well, is that true? When you don't feel like going, but you make yourself go. So what keeps you fired up and going?
My motivation for a long time has always been, obviously, I have personal reasons. I want to win the world's strongest man. I want to win the strongest man on earth. I want to be the best athlete in the world. I want to be the guy where, if you're thinking who would be on the Mount Rushmore of strongman, I want to be in that conversation. Yeah. That's who I want to be. So that's one of my biggest driving factors. And another factor that I take into account whenever I think about my motivation would be, I have a lot of people that keep their eyes on me. People tell me that I inspire them with my journey, my storyline, everything like that inspired them to get into the gym, to push for that step up at work, to be a better husband or a better father or something like that. Something that I do inspires somebody else to push themselves to be better. That's one of my biggest motivators as a professional strongman in the world view is what I do actually helps people, and that's something that I take very near and dear to my heart.
Well, I know last time James was up here, not that I can psychoanalyze somebody, but I've often thought James's childhood shaped who he is today.
Yeah.
Can you
Amen.
elaborate on that, James?
Yeah, I mean, we're just poor kids from Smyrna. My dad was a full-time pastor, full-time National Guardsman, and my parents divorced early in life, so we were in a single-family home. You know, one school year with my dad, and then summers with my mom, and we did that for several years. But you know, when you grow up with nothing, you learn to appreciate a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't take anything for granted. You don't take anybody for granted. I really do believe that having a tougher childhood, although at the time it was just a childhood.
Yeah,
to me.
exactly.
I didn't
Yep,
know any
right.
different.
Yep.
You know, you look back on it and you're like, damn, that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now I realize that I got some benefit from it. You know.
Yep.
What did you and your parents together growing up? They're not?
No, my parents divorced when I was 17, 18 years old, and it was a pretty ugly divorce. And to be honest with you, my entire childhood, I was able to take care of myself, cook, do laundry, get myself to school at a very, very young age. And that was because I had a sister. She's a little bit older, and I won't go into too much detail about that, but she had a lot of issues that required a lot of my parents' attention. So when they weren't working the long hours that they were working, they were focusing on her because I was the good kid. So I was the kid that was like, just put him in front of a TV, he'll play some video games while we try to focus on this kid. So that ended up with me being alone most of my childhood. So I was raised by like a lot of the parents on like the sitcoms like Full House and Family Matters and all those, like Carl Winslow and Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were big influences on my life.
A lot younger than us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's 33.
I know. Jesus. I got
he's still wet behind the
I got
ears.
sport coats older than that. You know. Yeah. Now, John, tell us a little bit about your background too. Folks may not know you.
Oh, for murfreesboro.com? Started a long time ago. It was just a website. I just wanted to put news and events, what's going on around town, and kind of just, as the internet changed, as the world grew and videos took over and social media, we started integrating and just kind of end of story, really. Just thankfully it did pretty well, and we got a pretty substantial following now, so that's it.
Yeah, well, you spoke at Rotary recently and did a good job. You shared what was you shared something? Was it Costco or something? That
Costco
got my
story.
attention. Okay, the Costco story.
Yeah. Oh, just okay. Real quick on that. We when Costco initially was coming to Murfreesboro, and we found out. And I talked to the developer. I talked to Costco. I talked to all kinds of people. So when we made the announcement, apparently corporate Costco did not want that getting out, but it was out because that video got like 200,000 views in like the first few hours. So it just took off, and so we got quite a bit of backlash from Costco from that. And
you get a cease and desist letter.
We didn't get a cease and desist, thankfully, but I got quite a verbal chewing from some of the managers and whatnot.
Was it worth it though?
Looking back, I would do it again. I would think, but it was.
So the old adage is better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Well, at the time, they gave me permission because I went to the one in Brentwood or Franklin, and I said, "Hey, can I post this? Can I go ahead and film this?" But they're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And then so I posted it, and then they backpedaled quite a bit, and we're, "Oh no, we didn't say you could do it." And according to them, I had to be escorted out by security and all this other stuff. And I was like, "No, I just walked out and did the video. It was no big deal." But in the end, it was a lot of fun. Actually, it ended up. With that being said, there was a positive spin to that, and Costco was actually very cool about it and everything. So
that's what got my attention of all, the discussion that day. Well, James, I know you just landed a deal in Florida.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that real quick?
Real quick. Red Realty, the company that me and my partners own, we're starting the franchising process now. We're about 20% into that, so we figured it'd be another 4 months before we're officially a franchise, but we went ahead and made the decision to open in Panama City Beach, Florida. So we've already signed a lease down there. I'm now a Florida realtor. I have my Florida license. I'm also the broker of record down there, so if you guys want to go to Florida and buy anything, I'm your guy.
There you go.
Can you hook a brother up?
I can hook a brother up. You know, absolutely. Like my man Vinny. What was it called? That movie, Vinny.
Cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny. Yeah.
We were out one night. Buddy of mine had this '68 Barracuda. Mike Carr. I don't know if you remember Mike Carr. He's
I do.
a few years older than us. He's big. He's about not yours, about your size, big old dude. Looked like Sylvester Stallone. All
Medium.
the girls loved him. And he's a big old boy. And he took, and we were out cruising one night. We were 19, and I think it was one of the Smith guys, not Warren Smith.
Well, there was an Allen and a Warren.
Okay, Warren, and I think it was Warren and another guy was like, "Hey man, got this guy in Panama City. We could go over and stay at the beach." And we're 19, and we're like, "Yeah, let's go." And I think I had $18 on me. We drove down in that Barracuda, and with the other guy, and they got down there. We didn't do no drugs or anything like that or drink. Man, we couldn't find the guy had no places for stay. The guy, he knew this guy, like maybe say hello to him. We had no place to stay, no money, and so we took that Barracuda and pulled up on the ocean where you could, the breeze coming in, and it was a fastback, so you could lay back. The seat would lay down, and Mike and I just kicked back and just had the breeze coming in, and the other two guys, one guy went and I guess he had some cannabis marijuana on him and slept on the beach with crabs biting him the next morning, and then guy wanted to buy a tame raccoon, so I bought a raccoon. Yeah, this guy did, and I'm like, I can't wait to get back to Smyrna, man. That was our Panama City night.
Florida
you know what I mean? And I don't know what he done, but it was Warren Smith. I don't want to get in no trouble with him, but I hadn't seen him in years. Who bought the raccoon?
Oh wow!
He wasn't doing the pot though.
Yeah.
That took a curve I was not expecting.
Anyway, that's my Panama City story.
Starts with a car, ends with a raccoon.
You know, it is wild. So y'all have got a big competition coming up. You say
yes, sir.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. What time does that start?
Starts at 9 in the morning, and you can buy tickets at the door to spectate.
Okay.
We've got a shut off for competitors. It's like 2 days before the event,
okay.
So they'll have to get signed up, I think, by Wednesday of this week.
How y'all marketing it?
We're a lot of social media stuff. Yeah.
Y'all, who's coming in the furthest? What state? You got anybody coming in from?
Oh, I don't
California,
know.
Detroit,
off
or
the top of my head.
The gentleman that owns Deck the Halls lighting service here in town, he's the sponsor of the event, and
cool.
he's been helping to promote it. And I believe we've got 25 competitors so far.
Now, what lifts are y'all doing?
So we're going to do a max deadlift on an axle bar. So that's a barbell that's roughly the thickness of a soda can.
Okay.
Right? It's essentially meant to replicate a train axle.
Okay.
We're going to be deadlifting that for 1 rep as heavy as you possibly can.
Okay.
Then we're immediately going to go into a max axle press. So as much weight
with
as
the
you
same
can,
bar.
Same bar.
Okay.
Yes, but the weight's obviously going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's essentially how much you can overhead press one time. Heaviest weight wins.
Yeah.
Then from there, we're going to go for a yoke race. That's essentially we're going to have 2 big pillars with a thick crossbar. You're going to put that crossbar on your shoulders. You're going to stand up, and then you're going to run as fast as you can with it. That weight's going to be super, super heavy, and the fastest time wins. And then we're going to finish up with a bunch of playing around with some sandbags and some rocks. We're going to see who can load the most, the fastest.
Well, what's that? What do they call that stone that?
The big round one?
Yeah.
Atlas stone.
Atlas stone.
Atlas stone.
So they come in what weight categories, you know?
Honestly, it depends on the weight category.
Yeah.
You can have a stone that weighs 75, 80 pounds, and I've loaded a stone that's 520 pounds.
Golly, man. Sorry. How do you do that? Yeah, no profanity. You know?
That's a lot of darn weight, man. That's great.
My back's already hurting thinking about it.
Well, how do y'all, like when you, but as far as safety, you know, so everybody signs a release?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have to get, your gym insurance is good for all this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then we're having this in a parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. A lot of strongman competitions, especially at the amateur level, take place outside. So
really,
we're competing in the elements.
Yeah. James and I used to compete a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was telling him about hard bodies on the way over here.
I always wanted to have, start my own gym when I was 20 years old, and really didn't know what I was doing. Saved up $10,000, borrowed $10,000 from my dad, paid back 10%. We had a good time, but back then. But Smyrna was so small. We didn't have about 10,000 people.
Yeah,
right. But you had to go work out. You had to drive. Kerry Forest Gym.
It was the only option.
Yeah, there was really nothing out there.
Yeah.
Then Smyrna come along, did the little town center.
Yeah.
But he competed in that contest at Hickory Hollow with Chuck Braxton. Remember Chuck Braxton?
Yeah.
He was a legendary strongman. If you Google him, you'll find him. He would hold back like Cessna airplanes from taking off, lay on a bed of nails. Y'all ever?
I've heard of some of
They
the
would break,
more
they would take
circusy
sledgehammers
performances.
And break
Yeah,
over. Remember that?
No,
it was
I don't
wild,
remember
man.
that.
I never seen him in person. He was just the judge, we were there, and give God the glory. He didn't think I could lift what I was lifting. I was press 300 on bench press at 132. I get down 132.
Wow.
But I would take him
he was strong, dude.
Those are really good numbers.
But I asked God for strength. I just kept praying. I mean, the Lord kind of helped me, but he didn't think I lift. He was looked at me real hateful, and he was like, y'all going to open up too much and blow your, open and lift. And I was the smallest guy there, but they didn't think I weighed. It was a big old dude, not your size, like James' size. And he was like, they challenged my weight. They didn't think I weighed. They thought I weighed like 140 or 150. Right. But I could just get, them diuretics. But do y'all do any of that before your bodybuilding contest?
Yeah.
To get your weight down?
Yeah. Everything about it is to get your body fat down.
Yeah, man, I was listening to your video, like the diet, I mean, how do you diet like that?
Well, it's a completely different thing for us.
Yeah, bodybuilding is
what he's doing
different.
is
well, in your video, you were talking about you tried bodybuilding for a while.
I did one bodybuilding show, yes, sir.
Yeah,
and he realized he liked to eat.
Yeah, that was when my inner fat 7-year-old came out. I was like, I like chocolate cake too much. Bodybuilding is not for me.
And your weight right now, you weigh what?
About 350 pounds.
350?
Yeah, I've lost about 20 pounds since the end of the season.
What'd you do to lose 20 pounds?
Just stopped eating as much.
Really?
Yeah, during competition season, I would argue that about 70% of the food that I eat every day is forced.
Is what?
It's forced.
Really?
I force feed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat it because I need the calories, I need the carbs, and I need the protein.
Okay, then what foods is your main
mostly
choice?
red meat and steak.
All the above.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Seafood
everything.
diet.
Yeah. So what do you stay away from? Is there anything you're like, no?
I'm not this is honestly a personal preference thing. I'm not a big fish guy.
Really?
I'm not a big fish guy. I stay away from chicken too.
Yeah.
Like most of the meat.
So you stay away from chicken?
Unless it's fried. I will eat fried chicken.
Really?
I'll eat fried chicken.
Just the opposite for a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about injuries because I was hoping Douglas wouldn't mind me sharing his.
No, he'd love for you to share.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell it? You were with him.
About the tear?
Yeah.
We actually just talked about that out in the lobby. He and I were doing decline bench on a Smith machine 3 weeks ago, and I always start super low. Like, people look at me like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. I'll put 10 pounds on a bar and do 40 reps to try to get loosened up and
you're
warmed
probably doing perfect form.
Well, and I'm 50.
Yeah.
Not 58.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was waiting for you to jump
no,
on
I'm
that.
not saying nothing.
But so I did a lot of reps, and then he went straight to a plate, and then plate and a quarter, and then 2 plates. And, I was ahead of him, so I'd already finished mine, and I pulled up out of the bench, and he slid down in there. On his 4th rep, we had one person on each end. We always do a really good job of spotting people over there. And he just, and I knew something wasn't right, and I just grabbed the bar and held it there for a second to see what he was doing, and he slowly let go, and he said, dude, I think I just tore something.
Golly.
And he went in and had 2 MRIs. The first one apparently didn't come out right, so they did a second one, but sure enough, he's got a 50% tear. He's going in for surgery.
How long do you think that's going to take to heal up?
6 months. That's what the doctors were saying. When I noticed his bicep, show him that scar on the bicep.
Yeah, I've done both of my distal bicep tendons.
Yeah,
on both my arms.
I've got a big nasty scar on mine too, from my bicep reattachment. Yep. And it took me 6 months to get back to full weight, but I'd say in 2 months I was training it again, just like weight and moving up.
You had super heavy bicep curls or something?
Well, this is back when I used to train with John Floyd, who owns Old South.
Yeah.
And we had just destroyed our arms, and we were getting ready to wrap up. In fact, we were heading for the door, and I saw somebody had left a curl bar, and I said, hey, let's do 3 negatives real quick before we leave. So we just stacked, like, I think I had 165 pounds on there. And I went down, got my first one back out of the hole, started going down on the second one, and it just went, oh. He said it sounded like a phone book. Is that how yours sounded?
Yep. Yeah, my right one sounded like a phone book,
you could
essentially.
hear it.
My left one sounded like it was someone quick ripping Velcro.
Yeah.
That's what my left one
Oh,
sounded
my
like.
God, it makes my skin crawl.
Yeah,
Well,
you like that?
What do you take to overcome? I mean, what do you take to heal from that, though? Is there any I mean, vitamins, supplements, anything you could take that help?
A lot of collagen.
Yeah, BP 500, 157.
BPC 157 and then TB 500.
Yeah.
They're peptides that you
Really?
would essentially inject straight into the
Could pull
area.
up your whole scar, because that's...
So I've got my distal bicep tendon. This past May at World's Strongest Man, I tore my proximal bicep tendon. So I've torn my bicep on both ends. And now my most recent one, I have my my pec tendon reattached to my shoulder right here.
So how long did it take before you could recover from that?
Well, I'm still in the process of recovering.
Really?
This scar is probably 3 weeks. This is a 3-week-old scar.
Wow, man, that's really clean for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I got it done about 3 weeks ago. So my coach, my physical therapist, and my surgeon are all kind of like in the talks, so we're all staying on the same page as far as getting me back to competing and everything like that. They're thinking about 6 to 7 months. Yeah.
What's the most common injury to working out? What do y'all see?
Depends on what you're doing, because I know with strongman it's biceps.
Biceps,
really? Easy.
Man, I would think it would be a knee.
I think
or
I've
something,
seen more bicep injuries than anything.
Yep.
Really?
And not just in the weight room.
I've
known a couple people that did, like one guy was telling me he reached down to pick up his child that was in a crib, and he picks him up, and it just popped.
Wow. Something simple.
So you never know.
You remember the Ewing, Sheila Ewing, Preston Ewing. I remember him. He used to work out at my old fitness center, and he was young. I guess he was like 14, 15. Hung out with my younger brother, and he came in here to show me one day. He goes, "Hey, look at my arm." And it was this one bicep was like giant like this, and the other arm was skinny. And I was like, "Hey, man, that ain't natural right there." And he had pulled his bicep, and I said, "Man, you need to go to the doctor, get that looked at, But it was all like boom.
Yeah.
He was kind of proud of it though.
Yeah, I bet. I've got 2 tears in my biceps, one in each side.
Yep.
And it made me have a great bicep peak, so I was trying to figure out how to make the other one tear the same way.
Well, it's funny because I was joking with my wife a couple of days after surgery, because you could still kind of see the bicep. Obviously, it was all beat up and everything like that. Actually, I'm sorry, my pec tendon, but when I would flex, you could see where I tore the proximal head, and now I have a super high peak on my left arm.
Nice.
So I was just joking around, and I was bored one day recovering, so I wrapped a tape measure around my arm, and I gained an inch on my arm.
Because of the surgery, really?
Well, that's positive over there. That's
inches.
great.
Yeah, so my arm actually got bigger tearing it.
That's wild. That's wild. Now, did you compete in bench press much, or because it seems like most guys that are deadlift and squat, they're not strong in bench press. It's like that's kind of their niche is this area, and you got a niche over here.
Well, I never did a powerlifting meet, but I was always big into the 3 lifts because the deadlift is going to be in most strongman competitions.
Yeah.
Squat shows up in strongman competitions every once in a while. Bench press never does. So I never really max out my squat and my bench press, but obviously over time curiosity eventually gets you. What do you think I could put up on bench? I don't know. Let's put a day aside next week and we'll find out. So my best bench press ever was 610.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lord. 610. No shirt.
Well,
Damn,
they
with
still
no shirt. That was just elbow sleeves and wrist wraps.
So you could get like $750 if you did a shirt.
Probably.
Just so that your audience understands what he means by no shirt.
Yeah.
There's a bench press shirt that helps compress your shoulders and pull your in. It gives you a lot of extra support.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I remember. I remember having one. Never used it. It was just so hard to try to get on. I'm surprised they allow that. Because it's almost like it's like cheating.
Well, I don't think it's allowed in competitions, is it?
No. In strongman competitions, it really depends on the federation that's putting on the competition. Like the Arnold Classic in Ohio, the Rogue Invitational that takes place this past couple of times has been in Scotland. They don't allow deadlift suits or squat suits. That's something that will help assist you with the lift. But then competitions like World's Strongest Man and the Giants Live Pro Series, they do allow suits. Yeah. So it really it jumps around a lot.
When you look, you mentioned Scotland. My mother's from Scotland, and they do what's it called the
Highland Games.
The Highland. She always talked about. They used to do it at MTSU. I think back when we were in high school, the Highland Games. They would throw that.
It's like shot put, throwing timber, and all of that. Yep,
I forgot tossing something. I forgot the Scottish term, but it's almost like a.
They actually did that
hay
one
bale toss.
They actually did that one time when I went.
Camber toss. That's what it is.
And they would throw it.
Yeah, I only remember it one year when I went there from forever ago. But I remember that they were out there throwing these giant timber logs.
Well, how when you look at, I don't know if y'all have ever studied this, but you know what is it? Is it Iran where they have those what do you call them? They're like them hand.
Oh, the big clubs. That is Iran. Yep.
That's wild.
It reminds me of the Iron Sheik.
Oh God. Yeah.
From back in the day.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Have y'all ever tried those?
I have never tried those. No.
That thing's pretty wild. You ever tried?
What are they for?
Essentially, you hold them like this, and then they're essentially shaped like really, really thick cricket bats, and then you're supposed to be able to have the mobility and strength to move them around your head.
I have used one of those once.
Wow.
And I was like, this is not for me.
No. But
just give me something heavy I can push or
it's kind of fascinating though that different countries and different cultures would have different events like, and I guess it goes back to with the culture and the history of, like in Scotland, I'm sure they were having to move lumber or something or
I bet you could though, couldn't you?
Oh yeah,
I
bet I could.
Your grip, you could easily hold those.
I
like,
wish,
what's this?
I wish your audience could see this man's hands.
I got the big
like,
old hands.
Those are mitts, son. Those are mitts.
Jesus, man. Look at that right there.
He's got Mike's hand up against his, and he just swallows it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want that grip on me.
I know.
Man.
Be like getting a boa constrictor wrapped around you.
Right?
Well, I have one of the best. Not to brag, but I have one of the best grips in the world when it comes to strongman events. We have an event.
Go ahead and brag.
You're allowed. It's okay.
Well, we have an event called the Hercules Hold in Strongman, where it's the two giant pillars that weigh about 450 pounds each, and they're attached to handles, and we stand outright like this, and you just hold on to them as long as you can until you can't, and until the handle slips out of your hand.
What is it, pulling against you?
Yeah, the pillars are falling outward while you're standing in the dead center.
So you
of
hold
it.
them like that, right?
Yeah, so essentially you're standing like that.
That looks like torture.
That's
I've seen that.
Terrible. Once you get to about 40 seconds, it's actually quite painful.
I've actually seen that.
Man,
and
think about what that's doing to your
it's
shoulder.
like it's going to rip your arms off.
Jeez.
I've actually seen one of those, and like their faces, like you said, about 30 seconds or so.
Yep.
Your face is, you can tell it's pain.
Oh,
like,
man.
Yeah.
There you go, like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Kind of like the Bible, the biblical story.
Yeah, it's the pillars of Hercules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's about to basically
who
rip
was
your arms off.
the Bible character that he had the long hair? Samuel.
Samson.
Samson. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the account. He tore down the columns, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're supposed to know this as being a preacher's kid.
Well, I know. Now that everybody knows I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how, I was listening to your story and you wrestled a little bit too, didn't you?
I sure did. I was an accomplished amateur wrestler when I was in high school, and I was good enough to get multiple different scholarship opportunities to universities like
Pennsylvania, right?
Yep. From Pennsylvania. And anybody who knows amateur wrestling or collegiate style wrestling, Pennsylvania is no joke. We're one of the top 3 schools. We're one of the top 3 states in the entire country that are really, really good at wrestling.
Did you have any injuries in wrestling?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't get any injuries.
What was your weight
until I
class
got to pro
back
wrestling.
then? What were you back then?
I was heavyweight.
Oh, right. Which would have been what back then?
So when I was in...
We're talking high school, right?
Right, in high school. When I was in high school, the heavyweight class was anything 250 pounds to 285 pounds.
Okay.
I was 245 pounds when I graduated high school.
Yeah. Wow.
I was 142.
Really? How well? I like what you were talking about. Individual sports, versus team sports.
Yeah.
What made you think about individual sports versus?
I was never really a big. I've tried every single sport under the sun at least once, and I always gravitated towards the individual sports. And I liked the concept that was behind wrestling, where it's just you and your opponent on the mat by yourselves. There's nobody else out there other than the ref. And you need to either be the guy who wins or be the guy who loses. If you lose, all of that responsibility falls on you. You could have been better conditioned. You could have been stronger. You could have known more moves. You could have done all the things under the sun. And if you won, all of the glory, all of the feeling that comes with being the winner, that is solely yours. You don't share it with anybody. Not to mention, I never liked team sports because there was always an out if something didn't go well. If a quarterback throws a bad pass, you could always say, "Oh, well, my linemen weren't blocking for me." Or my wide receiver wasn't open when he was supposed to be. So you could always pass the blame in a team sport. This person didn't do this. This person didn't do this. If you're playing an individual sport and you lose, You got nowhere to look but the mirror.
Yeah.
You lost.
Now, was it WWE? Is that
Yep.
who you went out with? What you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So after I graduated high school, I wanted to become a professional wrestler. I grew up
Yeah.
watching guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Kane, all of those
Mhm.
guys. Big
Yeah.
fan of those guys. So I wanted to follow in those footsteps. So after I graduated high school, I found a wrestling school in Philadelphia where I drove an hour and a half one way 4 times a week. And when I wasn't doing that, I was just working a regular job installing tires.
Yeah.
And it took about 6 months before I got in contact with somebody who was one of the talent relations for WWE. Sent all my information, a couple of pictures of me in the ring and all of that. Sure enough, I got an invite to come do a 7-day tryout in Florida where their training facility is. And went down there. I did my thing, and then I got a call, and I was offered a 3-year contract. And obviously, being a starry-eyed 18-year-old, who's going to turn that down?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, that was why I didn't end up going to college, because I wanted to just pursue the pro wrestling thing. So I had my big break in my opportunity, and I decided to go for it. I went for it, and about a year into it is when I sustained a move was performed incorrectly, and I landed on the back of my head, and the bounce off the mat is what gave me a hemorrhage in the left side of my brain.
Yes.
And after some observation and some quote-unquote healing, my neurologist pretty much said, if you take another hit like that, that's going to reopen in your head, and then you'll bleed into your brain until the pressure compresses your brain and you'll die.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of call it quits on my childhood dream pretty early.
The got to reminisce back when I had my fitness center. We had they had that Nick Gula School of Wrestling. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we had a guy in there. He went to that school, and dude was real. He was a wrestler. He was real weak. I mean, he was a big guy, but he was like super weak. And I remember him telling me, he says, yeah, I'm going to wrestle. He came back and he said, I wrestled Andre the Giant. True story now. Remember Andre the Giant?
His name's Evan. He's right there.
No, this guy says,
he's here.
He's right there.
I happened to just catch the wrestling show of Andre the Giant, and I didn't know it was this guy that come to the fitness center. I forgot the guy's name. He worked with me at Whirlpool. And you know how, like SNL, Saturday Night Live, they'll take a little skit and they'll take a rag doll and they'll throw it up and they'll spin it around and then slam it. And I was like, was that you? And Andre the Giant just, literally like spun him around in the air and just slammed him on the ground. And this guy was really proud of himself. And I was like, man, how much you get paid? And I didn't want to hurt his feelings, And I was like, well, they put him up in a hotel, paid for his flight, I think paid for his meal. I think he got paid $100.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That sounds about right.
To get beat up that bad.
Wow.
Then we had, remember Rock and Roll Express?
Rock and Roll Express.
They used to come in there. You know, the Michael.
Oh, yeah.
I remember they come in and worked out over at my place, and I remember one of them, both of them were very talented. And I remember the guy was like, hey, you give me one of your shirts, I'll wear it at the Omni, at the wrestling thing. And I was very frugal, still am, and I said, no, I won't give you a shirt, but I'll sell you the shirt. It's $20. And people are like, don't you know who he is? Don't you know who he is? And then, at the time I worked, didn't think about marketing. And then I was like, yeah, I'll give you a shirt. And he wore it on WWE at the Omni.
Nice.
People said they seen my shirt on there. But those guys were talented. But I remembered they come pulling up in this, remember the Christmas Vacation, what was this guy's name? Chevy Chase in that Griswold wagon. I mean, they drove a Griswold wagon. That's what they drove. I guess they just didn't make much money doing it. Maybe they did later,
Yeah.
But you think about, you see these Ric Flairs and you see these guys, you think, man, how could they, Lawler, and how could they overcome? Because surely they had a lot of injuries.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have yet to see any kind of middle-aged wrestler plus that isn't at least walking with some kind of a limp or a hinge in their back. Not one.
Man, to take those hits and body slams.
Well, you think about it, they're taking all those hits, those body slams, 300 plus days a year.
God,
that's how long they're on the road every single year.
Wow. It seems to me there's almost like a nostalgia of the old wrestling. Do y'all see it, or is it just me?
For me, my grandmother was really into wrestling.
Yeah.
And she was Tojo Yamamoto all the way. Baby.
She liked Tojo, really? Yeah, that's wild. Because he was one of them that I guess. Well, he was kind of a villain, I guess.
Yeah.
But everybody seemed to like him. Bill Dundee.
He made it interesting.
Did you ever go down fairgrounds to watch?
Yeah, sure did.
Did you really?
She took me down there a couple of times.
Wow.
Yeah, live wrestling.
Yeah. Who did you have? Did you have anybody you always watched or anything you liked?
Because of her, I was always into Tojo Yamamoto. You wanted to see Tojo pull his little toy behind him. Remember that he had that little toy he pulled behind him.
That's wild. But we had mentioned Glenn Jacobs. I do a chili cook-off every year. I need to get y'all come a chili cook-off.
Yeah,
and he came in.
He was the one wrestler that influenced me probably the most.
Nice guy.
Kane.
Yeah, nice fella.
When I was growing up, he was my favorite. And if I'm being totally honest and a little bit vulnerable here, when I was growing up and I was having a hard time or anything like that, I would watch his character on TV, and it would help me feel like I wasn't as alone, because his character was the monster. He was misunderstood. He was angry.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that was a lot of emotions that I felt when I was growing up as a kid. So, like, in a way, Glenn Jacobs really, really inspired me.
So that whole character, he was supposedly, was it brothers or something?
Yeah, he was half brother with the Undertaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I literally thought he was related to the other guy. Somebody's like, no, man, not related. He's a nice fellow though.
Yeah.
When we had him in, something that touched me. There was a guy in a wheelchair, and he was, I guess, special needs, and Glenn went over, took time out with him, and the guy had a belt. The guy had a wrestling belt. I guess it was like emulating him, and he went over there and talked to him and chatted. Just took the time out with him. Now, do you think some of your childhood has motivated you to do what you're doing today?
I do. Yes, I do. I think that, well, a little bit of context, because of the way that I grew up, or I would say that I grew up a little misunderstood, but most of the time I feel like I grew up very angry. I was a very angry kid.
Yeah.
And lifting weights, I started lifting weights when I was 13. And it was the outlet that I needed for that anger, because I'm pretty confident in saying that if I didn't find weightlifting when I did, I probably would have went down a bad path, and it would have landed me in jail.
You use the word confident.
Yeah.
Do you think that's open to all y'all? Do you think that helped with your confidence later in life?
Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't confident at all growing up. I was a very insecure kid. I was very angry. I was alone a lot. So I had a lot of struggles when I was a younger kid, and the weightlifting thing for me was the outlet that I feel like I needed personally. I mean, it's what the forearm tattoos that I have.
Yeah.
I have a monster given breath by necessity. That is a quote from a Roman general that was in charge of the Spartacus slave rebellion, essentially saying overcoming adversity and turning into the monster you need to be just to fight through any battles that you might need. And then on my left forearm, I have my rage as a gift.
Yeah.
And that's the saying that I live by, as far as I believe that your anger doesn't have to be a bad thing if it's channeled properly.
Yes.
In strongman, I'm known as the crazy guy. I'm known as the aggressive lifter. I'm the guy who headbutts like a steel wall.
Really?
There's actually a picture. Wow. Yeah, she can vouch for me. There's a picture.
This is your wife behind you, right?
Yes,
Okay, she's
that's
shaking
my wife,
her head.
Andrea. But there's this picture. So before a heavy lift, I either get a back slap where someone slaps me in between my shoulder blades really, really hard, or I'll headbutt something.
Oh, she's showing me a picture.
So she's showing you a picture from the Giants live show in London this year in July. I headbutted a stone platform before we were about to do the Atlas stones, and I hit the metal lining of the stone platform by accident, and so it cut my head open, and I was gushing blood all over my face while I'm doing the stone event.
Wow. Wait, key phrases there. While doing the stone event.
Oh no, yeah. I will die on this hill. I have the coolest looking photo in strongman history. It's me lifting a 400-pound stone covered in blood.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yes, you need to use that in all marketing material.
I think that beats Trump's hand pump.
Yeah,
right. Absolutely.
No, that is a pretty cool photo right there.
That's awesome.
That is a pretty cool photo. But when one of the things, and Tracy and I, James Weiss, we were talking the other day. One of the things as a lawmaker I see is the issue of mental health. You know, depression. You know, we had a lawmaker, Bob Freeman. You know, the Freemans, Bill Freeman, big real estate group. You know, sadly, Bob's father took his own life last year. You know, and you think, what are people going through? Then you hear, I had the guest on the show last week. Was it last week? We had the gentleman. He found his daughter. She hung herself in her bedroom closet in September. You know, Avery Kelleher. They've got a nonprofit called We Live for Rivers, and you know, he kind of theorized it ties back into Instagram and social media. But if you go back and study the mental health among females, young females, it's really bad. But do you think that has helped you just dealing with, well, all of y'all, you know, just dealing with, you know, I mean, y'all are all confident guys. You'd probably never have an issue in your life, but if you do have a problem, does it help just working out? Does that help you overcome it?
I mean, I can't speak for you guys, but in my own personal experience, getting a little bit personal with you here, I've been so low that I've actually attempted that 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Suicide?
So, suicide. I've attempted suicide 3 times. So, really? I would argue that the weight room competing and strongman is arguably the reason why I'm still here. It gives me a competitive outlet for that part of my personality, but also I always say that lifting weights is the best therapy there is.
Yeah.
It's what's gotten me out of every hole I've ever been in, and no matter what I had lost or what was taken from me, I always had a 45-pound barbell.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
So that's something that I've always leaned on my entire life.
Well, do you think that same issue could be applied someone, whether it's playing the game of chess or getting good at basketball or getting good at art? I mean, finding that niche.
Absolutely. You know? Just finding that outlet, something that clicks with you, something that you feel everybody can do one thing. Everybody can lift weights. Everybody can be an artist. Everybody can play music. Everybody can do that. Yeah. But finding something that you can say is yours. Yes. I think that's one of the most important
James,
things.
I mean, all of y'all have, you know, have met that criteria. You know, yours is, I guess, the bodybuilder, because you're technically considered a professional bodybuilder.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and what I want to interject to this topic is it goes to confidence. So when, particularly as a man, when you're when you're confident, it generally comes from physical strength. And I noticed that when I got into bodybuilding back in 2011, as I started progressing, you know, I've always been confident. You know me. Yeah. Like I've never had an issue with that, but sometimes I wonder if in certain situations maybe I was playing more than it was real. Yeah. And but as I got bigger and stronger, I noticed that it was very real. You know, I was very confident. I felt like I could take on the world.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I see as a lawmaker, and to be honest with you, I think I said this in committee. I was with corrections of the day, and I think Department of Safety and THP, that you know, you look at life today. I mean, James, and I think we talked about this last time on the show. You know, I had a father in my life. You had a father in your life. You had a father in your life. You had a father in your life, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you look at these young people today. I mean, where they get direction. I'm not saying a woman can't raise a son, but you know, I see young people that don't. I mean, I had one young man. He didn't even know how to put air in his tire, in his car, and he didn't even know how to dig a hole in the ground. And he didn't know. He never cut the grass in his life.
What?
Yep, true story. True story. But he was raised by his mom, and he was in the inner city. And I mean, you know, I won't say who it is. He's a successful young man today. He's going to law school. Really, really proud of him. But you know, it just seems like we're missing that in our culture today. Then we're seeing our prisons are full. You know, the county's got to build a $500 million jail, $400 million, whatever the estimate's going to be, $500 million. Our jails are full. America's got the highest prison population on the face of the earth, and there ain't a lobbyist doing anything about it.
Nope.
I mean, in my opinion, I would argue most churches are silent about it. You know,
I think I told you this before, Mike. I have the solution to 70% of all the problems we have.
Be careful on the FCC guidelines now. Go ahead.
See, I haven't heard this yet. I kind of want to hear this.
Well, it's simple. It goes back to what he was saying. Our number one problem in our society is fatherless homes.
Yep.
Yes.
And when you remove the father from the home, then you don't have that disciplinarian. And again, the same thing he said. I'm not saying moms don't spank their kids or anything like that, but trust me.
Nah, growing kids need both.
You better believe it. And when I was growing up, if my mom spanked me, I didn't like it. But if she said, now when your dad gets home, I start peeing right then.
Yep. Yeah. My dad used to do that thing where he said, go pick out the belt that I'm going to use on you. And if I brought one down that he didn't like, he would say, you know which one I want you to go get. Go put that back.
But, how do we change that as a society? How do you have you can't legislate your way out of these problems.
No, but I honestly think that there's a certain percentage of it that you can use legislation for. And as an example, the vast majority of divorces are brought on by the female. And the reason why I think that's true is because you get to a point where you're like, well, I'm not in love anymore. Well, as Christians, we know that love is a commitment, not a feeling. And when you have that commitment, then you're going to stick it out. And when you get to the point where that you just decide, I'm going to go do something else because I know that with all the money that we've accumulated, that I'm going to be fine. And then I can just go do nothing for a couple of years. I really think that we should make it more difficult to get divorced. And I don't mean more expensive. I mean more difficult.
Yes.
And I think that if we would stop infusing money into families that are abusing our system, I'm all for helping out people with food stamps. What do they call them now? SNAP. With SNAP and things like that. I was a benefactor of it when I was younger. I'm certainly not going to dog it. But you've got certain families out there or certain people that are just absolutely slaying that system, and they're living better than you and I are off of the money that we provide them.
I mean, it's to the point now where people are making videos and posting them online, bragging about how they get all this much in food stamps. They have to pay $50 a month for rent. And they're pretty much rubbing it in the faces of everybody who actually has to go to 1, 2, 3 jobs just to keep food on the table.
Right.
And it's insulting.
I had Dr. Ming Wang on the radio about a year or two ago, and I asked him about, he came over to America with zero, I think $50 in his pocket. And, you look at the next generation, he works hard, blesses his family, kind of, I don't want to say spoils them, but then they become kind of complacent. And then it's like, where is this going to spiral? Like, I'm always reminded of Mike Hollingshead. Mike grew up real poor, and just dirt poor. But he worked hard, started mowing yards at 6 years of age. And, that's kind of been, our generation, Now, are you speaking at some schools? Did I hear you? Is that something?
I have in the past. That was more of something that I did when I still lived in Pennsylvania. Now I'm definitely open to the opportunity to speak to children of pretty much all ages. I've done a lot of stuff with kids and youthful people that are overseas because I've had more opportunity to do that over there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there was a class right the couple days before I won the Royal Albert Hall show in London. I spoke to a class of kids anywhere from 12 to 14 years old with special needs. A lot of them were autistic. There was a couple of them that had things like that going on, but I had the opportunity to talk to them for about an hour, and it seemed like they loved it.
Well, I think you'd be really good with that. James, maybe you could reach out to Dr. Sullivan. We probably got some school board members listening, and because you may be that one spark that inspires that young man because not everybody's going to be a basketball player. Not everybody's going to be a football player, but maybe y'all could look at that. I know we've got some folks listening tonight. James, I'm going to give you last word to promote this event you got coming up Saturday. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Guys, if you want to come out and meet Evan, He's one of the gentle giants. I guarantee you, John, you'd agree with me on that statement.
Absolutely.
Just a solid guy in the short amount of time that I've spent with him. Very nice. And definitely deserves respect just in the impression of this man. But he will be at our gym this Saturday, Carbon Gym at 1311.
And John's going to be there.
Yeah, John's coming.
We'll
You're emceeing.
I'm emceeing.
Really?
He's the man.
Yeah.
We're at 1311 Gresham Park Drive, right across the street from the Embassy Suites where the convention center is.
Yes.
So when you walk out their front door, you're looking at us. It'll be in the parking lot right there. So you'll see lots of people, and it's just going to be a day. It'll be a lot of fun. It's not snowing.
I don't know if it does, Yeah, let's hope it doesn't. Well, folks, I want to thank Roger Thomas, Jeremy Smith, our trusted intern, for helping us, and Connor in the booth, and y'all listen in for Angela Bingham, the lovely Simplicity Radio, and that girl can bust some rhymes. She was singing Amazing Grace at an event here a while back. I didn't even know she could sing. This girl's phenomenal. You know Angela?
I'm about to.
Okay, you need to get to know her. Well, folks, we're going to have Eric Ritchie on next week. Eric's coming up the next 2 weeks from now. Roger's going to host a show next week. I've got a conference to go to, and I think he's got Commissioners Anthony Johnson and Carl Boyd, both of Smyrna, longtime Smyrna guys. So, folks, we'll talk at you next week. And thank you, Evan, T-Rex Singleton, James Yates, Red Realty, and John. How do you say it last name?
I carry.
Like carry?
I carry.
Like
I carry my phone.
I carry.
Yep,
well,
it's
you're
a weird one.
So famous, Mr. Murfreesboro.
Hey,
well, folks, we'll
works.
catch up with you next week. Thank you, Connor.